Hello there, welcome into the latest edition of the SAU Football Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside SAU defensive coordinator Josh Lawson. Coach, we're sitting here a little bit past the halfway point of the year. 3-3 is the team's record, coming into a big home game this weekend. It's a homecoming Hall of Fame, so expecting a very big crowd. Hopefully the team's going back to 2012 has played very well at home, 10-2. But let's go ahead and take a step back to last week, another home game against Arkansas Tech. 21-14 was the win, but it was a bounce back game for your defensive unit, coming off of a game against Harding, to where rushing team, they put up some gaudy rushing numbers, but the team comes back out and responds against Arkansas Tech, holding them to 25 yards. Kind of talk a little bit about the changes that happened over that week of preparation and the execution that came on Saturday against Tech.
I think one thing is, you think about Harding, and it's just a completely different offense that you never see all year long. And, we went out there, we thought we had a good plan, but, execution wasn't that good. I think the kids came in focused the next week. We really pushed them hard. We went live a little bit at practice, trying to get them back tackling and understanding the speed of the game, and I think that helped. Came out there, like you said, we went from allowing 1 million yards rushing the week before to 25-30 yards against Arkansas Tech, and I think a lot of that was the kids our players were a little bit embarrassed about the way that they performed the week before, and I know as coaches we were embarrassed about the plan that I put out there. I don't know if I put my guys in the best situation against Harding, but we went out there against Tech, made sure we had a good plan, make sure we executed it well. Made sure we stayed simple and just let the guys play hard.
Looking ahead to this upcoming week, again, mentioned that it's Homecoming Hall of Fame, expecting a very good crowd at home, a place where, again, we've played well for the past couple of years, but taking on a Southern Nazarene team that, you look at their record, you look at their numbers offensively, and on paper, it's one of those games. Mm-hmm. But, both of us know, and you particularly as a coach, you have to kind of almost maybe combat against that even more so than taking on a team that maybe has that impressive overall record and impressive offensive numbers. Talk a little bit about the preparation, particularly on the defensive side of the ball going into this weekend's game.
Like you said, it's been a challenge. I think early in the week we really had to focus our guys in and make them understand that anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday in college football. I think we've all seen that throughout the year. When you watch Division I big-time football, I mean, there's been huge upsets all year. But for us, the thing that we've kind of tried to focus on is we got to get better at what we do. I reminded them of, I believe it's the 2009 game. We were 0-6, 0-7 going into the West Alabama game here at home. They were a nationally ranked team. We hadn't won a game all year, and we ended up beating them in 5 overtimes. And, West Alabama, I mean, I remember going to their head coach after the game and shaking his hand, and they were shocked. And we tried to focus all week on not letting that happen to us. Southern Nazarene has some good players. Their skill guys are really good. Unfortunately, their quarterback, the Western Kentucky transfer, got hurt a couple of weeks ago against East Central, but their number 7, their backup quarterback who's came in and played last week, he's a really good runner, and that's something that we've had to work against, combating against. We haven't done a great job against stopping running quarterbacks so far this year, so we've been letting our scout team quarterback scramble a little bit, trying to figure out what we need to do to stop that if that's what happens on Saturday. But Southern Nazarene does a lot of things. They run a pro-style offense. They put you in a lot of formations. They shift in motion a lot, and you have to be mentally focused to play a team like that. And like you said, they don't have that great record, and so they're going to come out there and who knows what's going to happen. The flea flicker might come out. The toss pass might come out. Crack and go is going to come out. And we got to be prepared for that, and we've been trying to prepare for that all week.
Individually, one player that's kind of been standing out here of recent play, particularly on the defensive line, has been Nolan Duncan, senior defensive lineman for you. He's third in the Great American Conference in tackles for lost yardage at 9.0 tackles for lost yardage. Talk a little bit about him and how he's been able to more or less win in the trenches and getting some big stops behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Nolan, last week during the game, I didn't even realize how good of a game Nolan was having. It wasn't until I watched the film that I realized he wrecked shop all day. Nolan, he's been injured. He's been fighting through some small injuries and some bigger injuries all year long, but he just keeps fighting. The thing I love about Nolan is just that he has that fight in him. He's going to keep playing, and I think after the Harding game, he really took it as a challenge upon himself to say, I'm going to lead this defensive line. I'm going to set the example, and that's exactly what he did this past week. And then one reason that he was able to do what he was able to do was, for the first time in a long time, Calvin Lyons came out and played like I've never seen him play before. He caused 2 fumbles by himself, and because they couldn't just focus on Nolan or couldn't just focus on Calvin, we were able to get a lot of penetration up front. And Nolan, like you said, I mean, he has done some great things all year, and hopefully he'll continue to do that.
We appreciate it very much for your time again. That's defensive coordinator Josh Lawson. Mule Riders preparing for their homecoming/Hall of Fame game. That's this Saturday with the kickoff at 2:30 p.m. Homecoming festivities, the King and Queen in the court will be announced before the game, and then the Hall of Fame inductees will be introduced at halftime. So a lot of things going on at Wilkins Stadium this Saturday. Again, kickoff 2:30 p.m. We hope to see you out there, and Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.